Hello and a very good evening and welcome to the round 17 Hampton League Netball Show, the penultimate round of the Hampton League season. And by jolly, it's been one of the best netball seasons we've seen for some time. Still a little bit indecisive on what that top 5 and top 3 is going to look like, but so much to play out over the next couple of weeks. Kate Lindsay and also Trish Butters, a very good evening to you girls. Kate, to you first. Another great weekend of netball. We saw a draw, some really good close results. That South Warrnambool-North Warrnambool game. One to really, I look forward to talking about a little bit later on.
Yeah, great weekend of netball, and we probably thought that maybe the ladder might be a bit more clear this week, but with the draw it's probably thrown a bit of a spanner into the works, so look forward to unpacking that a bit later on in the show.
Trish, from a Hampton League executive, obviously you're part of the executive. You guys must be just wrapped with the way that the open netball season's been this year. Like, it's just been so close and entertaining each and every week.
Yeah, certainly. I think like we always predicted that, South and Cobden would probably be the teams at the top, but the rest of the grades are the rest of the teams are so close, and even down to Terang Mortlake getting their head back into the game last week, and mathematically if they got to the next 2 games and some other people win, they could make the 5, and we'd sort of written them off a bit. So very exciting.
Absolutely. All right,
You're looking good, Hilly.
Well, let's talk about the monkey in the room. I made a stupid comment last week, and the Camperdown girls are straight onto it. I said if Portland falls short to Camperdown, that I'd wear a Camperdown dress because I had to wear the beanie last time. So M. Stevens is not disappointed, so a little bit tight. So a big apology to Ruby Absalom. You might need a new netball dress by Saturday afternoon because this might be a little bit stretched with my big physique, but. A bet's a bet, and Camperdown, and I know we've got Soph Canady, so we'll talk to Soph very soon, but another great win by the Magpie girls, and M doesn't miss a beat, that's for sure. I reckon 5 minutes after the result, I got a text message.
They're great, and I mean, they watch the show, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
They obviously are, watching who we tip each week, and it is really good that, there's that banter there with them. Yeah. And I actually spoke to Em and I said, what are the chances of getting a dress down? And she said, if you can get one on Hilly, I'll be very impressed. So Hilly, you're a good sport for popping it on.
Listen, I do like the banter, and the Camperdown girls. They've had a great season, young as they are, but Em and Megan and the team, they've done a super job, and we'll talk to Soph about them a little bit more. But bet's a bet, and next year I'm not tipping Camperdown. I'm not tipping against Camperdown against Portland. They've done it to me twice this year. Hey, we've got a couple of great guests. We've got Sarah Cowling from the Warrnambool Blues and also Sophie Canady from the Camperdown Magpies. We're going to go to the Zoom and catch up with Sarah from the Warrnambool Blues. Saz, thanks for jumping on, buddy. Always great to catch up with you.
No worries, guys. Thanks for having me.
Hey, great to see you back in the Warrnambool Blues. Obviously, you have had a child in the last, sort of 12 months, so it's great to see you back at the Blues, and the girls are playing some nice netball. How's it been back at the land of the Blues?
Yeah, it's definitely different with 2 kids now. Got a bit more organisation I need to do before I step on the court each week or go to training. But no, it's good back having a run around, getting the fitness back. And we've been going not too bad. Bit of a disappointment game on the weekend. So hopefully we can get back on the winners list where we need to if we want to make finals.
George, you touched on the draw, and it's probably made this weekend and the next week and really important for you guys, but this weekend in particular. Are you feeling any additional pressure knowing now that you do need a win to keep your finals chances alive?
Oh, exactly, yes. Definitely a lot more pressure now, and hope that maybe Hamilton just stumbles for the last couple of games would be nice and handy. Hopefully we can get a win, and then I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't go down to percentage because I think Hamilton have got a better percentage than us. So that will be tricky.
Sorry.
I was just going to say, on the game on the weekend with the draw, what happened? Was it a close game right to the end, or were you in the lead and they came back? I haven't really looked past that. What was going on the weekend?
I think we had a very interrupted warm up. We ended up warming up in that indoor room that they've got in Mortlake, and then it was just pouring rain. I think they were up by 1 or something at the first quarter. or we were. It was close all game. I think going into the last, they might have been up by 5. I reckon. We ended up getting back just in the last couple of minutes.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Sarah, I want to speak about, obviously, you've got a couple of great players that have got connections to the Warrnambool Mermaids. They're playing this week in the grand final. Do things change? Line up like, obviously, we know Amy Wormwood, superstar for your side, but also a superstar for the Mermaids. Will she continue to do both this week, or is she focusing just primarily on the basketball being a grand final? How does she attack it, and how does it sort of look for your side?
Yeah, I think no change. They've done the same thing the whole season. And she goes out, plays netball on a Saturday, kills it, goes to basketball, Saturday night, kills it. So, she'll just keep the same routine.
I guess playing in goalkeeper too, it's not as strenuous maybe as down the court, like physically. I mean, it is in the ring. Obviously, it's tense and all that sort of stuff, but I guess that doesn't take the fitness out of her legs too much, I guess.
No, that's right. Definitely goalkeeper. She's probably doesn't have to move as much as what she would goal attack.
Yeah.
George, you touched on a point there where you went into the last quarter down by 5, and I noticed the last time you played Terang, you went into the last quarter down by 7. So I think the pleasing thing is probably the fight back from the group, but what's going to change this week so that you don't perhaps get into a situation where you need to fight back to win a game?
Yeah, good one. I think we just kind of lost, all the stuff that we've done the previous weeks kind of went out the window. We made lots of mistakes, our passes. Some of the Terang girls thought they might have been on our team at one stage. So we'll hopefully have a good training tomorrow night, get back to normal things, have a good warm-up Saturday, and just get on the court ready to go, because I think that's where we kind of went wrong. We weren't switched on, or we're just chasing tail.
Hey Sarah, appreciate your time tonight. It's great to have you back in the Hampton League. It's great to see the Blues, certainly fighting for a spot inside the final series, and big game against the Eagles this weekend. So best of luck, buddy, and we hope you go well.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Sarah Cowling, an absolute superstar, and she has got one of the best smiles in the Hampton
Doesn't
League.
she?
$1 million smile. I've always thought that was Sarah's. Always happy.
Yeah.
Always happy, and it always shows on the court.
Yeah.
She's one of the cleanest players that we have in the open competition.
Yeah.
She's very rarely out of play, and if she's out of play, she knows she needs to be out of play.
Yeah.
She's a really good club person, obviously, for the Blues, and,
Yeah.
and great to have her back on the court.
Yeah,
Definitely has a
absolute
game face, doesn't she? I've never seen her really scowling at an umpire or...
No.
She's too nice.
Yeah.
No, she's an absolute superstar, great human being, and we appreciate her time. Hey, a young gun that's doing great things up the Camperdown Magpies is young Soph Canady. She's a very talented young lady who's got a great career ahead of her. And Soph, thanks for jumping on tonight. Really appreciate your time.
No, thank you for having me.
Hey, another great win last weekend, buddy. You've got a nice little, win-loss ratio over the Portland Tigers. What a year it's been for you girls. We know you guys started off with a lot of good experienced players leaving the club for whatever reason it was. But you young girls have really, for each and every week, have sort of fought really hard, and it's been impressive to see the progression that you guys have made.
Yeah, I think what you said pretty much sums it all up. At the start of the year, we were sort of really just trying to find our feet, and a lot of girls hadn't played open netball before, so them just getting used to the different sort of game pace of it all. I think this time when we played against Portland, it was probably a very different team to the first time we played against them, so we had to adjust to sort of maybe what we thought about coming into the game. But yeah, I think over the season we've all just got more connected as a group and really just grown really well throughout the season.
You go, Tim.
I was just going to say, even just what you said then, Sophie, wouldn't have been something you could have done early in the season, adjusting to whoever you're playing against, because that takes a lot of experience to do that and say, okay, what we thought was going to happen in our game plan is going to go out the window. We need to change that. So what's brought that about, do you think?
I think probably Em and Megs being joint coaches, they probably have a fairly different sort of game style in the way they like to play, but Em sort of playing a little bit, Megs has probably taken a bit more control of that, I'd say, and her game style is probably very unorthodox to any other sort of coaching style. So using that against other teams where they probably don't really know what's going on has helped us a lot. And just developing that sort of game style throughout the season where we were learning as the weeks went on all together. So it was really good.
You really are lucky at Camperdown. You've got two fabulous coaches, and I've seen you play a couple of times this year, Soph, and I've noticed the improvement of the whole Camperdown side, but especially the young kids. What do you think's been the biggest improvement in your individual game that you've noticed this season?
Well, I think last year I was probably more playing mid-court in open, and this year, with other girls leaving and whatnot, I've sort of had to play a more goalie shooting style. With Izzy Sinnott, and Piper, who are both also really young, so I've probably had to step up and be a bit more of a guidance, even though I'd never really played there myself. But just adjusting to everyone else in the team and, learning together, because none of us had ever really played together before, so just learning off each other. And just probably that more leadership for me, I've felt has really improved my game.
Hey, Soph, obviously a young side. A lot of you girls likely to stay in the region over the next few years, obviously with your schooling and so forth, because I just think what you guys have been able to achieve this year, from the adversity that you've sort of had to endure from the start of the year with just the experience that's left, it'd be great to see you guys really stay connected for a couple of seasons and maybe be a really good heartwarming story of local netball, over the coming years and potentially playing finals, starting as that young group that's matured into some really nice young netballers.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, we have I think there's 4 of us under 18, so we will definitely still be around for the next 4 or 5 years at least. And then the other girls are also still under 25, still in their prime time and stuff. So yeah, hopefully they'll stay around.
So if I want to ask a question about the culture at the club, and it seems like it's amazing. The reason I say that is, often you're faced with big defeats and you're all still got smiles on your faces and you are just such a pleasant team to watch. Is that something that's subconsciously happened, or how has that come about to ensure that you're all being really positive regardless of the result?
Well, I suppose I've been at the club for a while and I've always found that there's been a good club culture, but this year especially, we sort of went into the season not knowing that we weren't going to win a heap of games, but not expecting to, and having that attitude of the week by week and just seeing what happens. And I think that's across all our senior sides, and training, game day, everything is just really enjoyable and we all get around each other, and yeah, it's been really good.
Super.
Hey, Soph, it's great. I'm loving what Camperdown's doing, and I truly hope that over the next couple of years you guys can really stick together and and blossom and be a strength in the Hampton League once again. Big game against the Hamilton Kangaroos, playing up in Dunkeld, so hopefully the old man knows where to go on Saturday, because Dunkeld's not usually a Hampton League venue.
No, it's not. I asked him about the other night, actually, if he had any idea where it was, and he didn't. So I think the club's putting out a map soon, so not to get lost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pete will still have the Melways, I reckon. So, hey, absolutely. Hey, buddy, thanks for jumping on. Really appreciate it. And hopefully, and I hope that, I'm not sure what the coaching situation is next year, but geez, I'd love it if Em and Megan went on again. I just think it's been a great appointment for you guys this year as young girls, and hopefully we get to see them go about it again next year.
Yeah, I hope so too. They've been really good this season.
Thanks, Soph. Best of luck for this weekend. Sophie Kennedy from the Camperdown Magpies. She's a young star in the making. Speaks really well, and great family, the Canadies.
She's only 17 and she's taking on a leadership role, playing the lead goalie in an open team.
And shooting well, good scores too.
Yeah, absolutely. And they'll be very proud of her, I imagine. And we were saying this last year, how we've got a great junior team, Camperdown have, and you want to coach them this year, and they lost them all. Yeah. But I do think these are very young, very, very young, and they'll build on that for a few years. And, hopefully they hang on to them for a few more years. It'll be that next middle bit. I think, as you said, 4 of them are under 18. They're okay. They're not going anywhere. It's that next 18, 19, 20. And there's a few people come back. It's been really good.
Yeah, and you tend to find that a little bit too, don't you? That some, that want to come back, they actually miss being away and so forth. So it would be great, and I don't know whether it will ever happen over the next couple of years, but having the Baker girls might eventually want to come back, and then you mix them with the girls that have performed really well this year, and then you start thinking, well, Camperdown's going to be a strong
really
side
good
again.
side.
So,
well, Mary Place, Ruby Canady, they've all gone off to uni. You never know; they'll come back in somewhere on that side of town anyway. Yeah. And they've got Jess Cameron back, so that's a good back for them too. Have a bit of
one recruit can turn into two, and two can turn into three. So it's positive.
Yeah.
Hopefully that. I actually hope Em and Megan do it again next year. They've been great for that club.
Really incredible. And I touched on it there with Soph, but we played them a few weeks ago, and the margin was, it was pretty big in the end, but just the way that they responded to each other on court and were so positive and encouraging the whole way through. I just think that takes a lot, because when you're getting defeated and you're young, it'd be really easy to drop your head. Yeah. But those kids don't. They just keep going and going right until the final whistle, and it's fantastic, and a real credit to Em and Megan.
Probably a lot of personal motivation in there too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, let's have a look at round 16 results and the highlights. First game, South Warrnambool will take on North Warrnambool. Trish, 2-point ball game in favour of the Roosters. What an almighty effort by the Eagles.
Yeah, it's been well noted that Annie and Holly didn't play on the weekend, so they were without their two chief goalies. Brought in Jen O'Connor though, which was a big inclusion. Played in goal shooter. I don't think she's played in goal shooter all her life, but she knows how to hold and she knows how to get in good position. But I think Maddie was very proud of the North girls, even in that situation. They took it right up to South and probably should have won it. They just ran out of legs in the end. We know South is strong.
Yeah, they are.
Hey, let's look at the great netball facilities over there at Cobden. They took on Port Fairy. Huge win. It was a huge win, but to no surprise, really. No
surprise. And their quarter breakdown, they shot 20, 26, 23 and 22, which is huge numbers and consistent numbers. Sophie Hinkley played through goal attack, and I love her in goal attack. Her smarts in there are a huge asset, and I think she's going to be, their wild card come finals. And Alicia Blaine returned from injury, so great to see her back.
Yeah, adds a bit more depth. Hamilton took on the Koroyd Saints, and Kate, I'll go back to you. The Saints, very, very good winners in this one, and just puts a bit more pressure on the Kangaroos, obviously leading into the last couple of rounds to potentially make finals.
Yeah, it does. And Hamilton got out to a small lead at quarter time, and then the Saints sort of clawed it back like they're famous for doing. And, it didn't sort of get out to more than 6 for the whole game, but it was a really good game. Mia Mills stepped up in Shelby O'Sullivan's absence and played a beautiful game in wing attack, and Casey Barling was in fine form. You'd be happy to hear that, Hilly.
Yeah, Case, absolute star. Hey, Portland took on the Camperdown Magpies, and the Magpies got the job done again. Great to see them up and about. Hopefully we see Portland finish the season pretty strong over the next 2 weeks, but a good win by the Magpies.
Yeah, they'll be really keen to beat Port Fairy somewhere along. I think they did that. Is that the last round? I think they do somewhere along there. But they would be disappointed getting beaten by Camperdown twice. But I was always a bit worried about the trip. It's a long trip across there. Pretty close game, and it was really good to see Camperdown, little Chloe Davis in the centre, standing up again.
Well, her form's been been in an upward spiral since she came onto the show. So maybe we hold a little bit of credit for that, KL.
Maybe.
They had. I saw that Portland led all game, so they'll be disappointed that they let that go. But a 13-4 fourth quarter got the win for Camperdown.
That's a big turnaround.
Huge turnaround. A great fight back from a young group of players as well. So really, I know we say it all the time, but positive signs for Camperdown.
Yeah,
absolutely. In the last game, Terang Mortlake took on the Warrnambool Blues. It was a draw, so a great result for Terang Mortlake. Yeah. As you said, there's still mathematically a chance, but it becomes a really hard task when you're relying on other sides. Yeah. But to finish the season where you can be a bit of a giant killer is certainly the way you would want to finish if you're sort of out of that finals race. So they were able to do that. So that just upsets the apple cart a little bit for the Blues, and it makes their game against North Warrnambool this weekend even more important. Yeah,
and I was really happy to see Jackie Arundel back in the best. I think Jackie was back in goals where she loves to be in goal attack, and I think she's been in and out of there. And it was great to see her back because we know she's a really quality player. And I haven't seen her in the best much this year. Not that I've seen many games, but I've been watching the results, so it's good to see Jackie back.
Yeah, absolutely. And Amy Wormwood,
Yeah.
She has to be bowling well for Dot Jenkins.
I hope she does. I hope she wins one. I've always been a fan of the Worm.
She's always up in the top 3. But
she does. We just need to get her through one year. The
Yeah.
big Worm. I think she'd be a very worthy winner.
It would be. I think she'd
nice.
be, So we'll see. But as you say, that the draw is not good for Warrnambool, and we'll touch on the final 2 rounds. They've got probably the toughest run home out of them and Hamilton. So, but Terang would be happy with the draw, but probably unhappy that they've let a 3/4 time lead go against the Blues for a second time this season.
Yeah. Okay, let's look at round 17, the penultimate round. Some great matches coming up. Koroit taking on Terang Mortlake. How's the Saints side look with obviously Mermaid finals on Saturday night? So do they still have the chance to have all their players playing, but will they have a reduced load because of what's at stake on Saturday night at the Arc?
Probably a reduced load, and I'm not sure how that conversation has gone. But to Sarah's point, the basketballers have managed basketball and netball.
Oh yeah, so you don't sort of change it.
It's nothing abnormal. The only difference is obviously that basketball is now a 1 final as opposed to a 3. And they've got 1 chance to do it now. So I'm not sure. Kate and Kerry have been really good with managing basketball throughout the year, and we've got enough depth at Koroit to cover it if we needed to. But good luck to all of the basketballs playing. We hope that.
We hope the Mermaids get the job done. And you take your hat off to to young Millsy and Matilda Sewell and even all the netballs that play, because it's a huge commitment.
Absolutely.
Training at netball during the week, basketball training, then you're playing a game of netball and using Amy Wormwood for an example. Amy goes hell for leather on the netball court, but then she does it on the basketball court too. So.
Yeah. And for the coaches as well, Lee Primer and his staff, they're obviously managing netball coaches are managing basketball. So it's a really big commitment, but there is great mutual respect between both sports, and we understand how important
and that's great because it wasn't a long time ago. It wasn't that.
Because all your gun netballers are gun basketballers.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course they are.
Got to get it right.
Absolutely.
Who are we tipping? We know you're the Koroit.
Yeah, I'll tip Saints,
Oh, I'll go, I'm going to go the Saints. Still haven't, so I'm really looking forward to the next 2 weeks. So I haven't seen Warrnambool play a full game and I haven't seen Koroit. So, I'll be going the Saints this week though.
Right.
Beautiful. I'm going to go the Saints as well. Hamilton take on Camperdown. It's an 8-point game for Hamilton. There's no doubt about it. They need to win to keep that pressure on that top 5.
Yes.
How do you see this one going, Trish?
I think Hamilton will win, and they'll win well because they will need to. So
they need the percentage.
When they put their foot down and decide to play,
they can play.
Yeah, they can play, and it'll be a tough game for Camperdown.
Yeah, it will be. Hamilton were good in patches on the weekend, and they'll be looking to bring a full quarter performance.
Yeah.
But they need a win and a decent win in case it comes down to percentage at the end.
My beloved Camperdown, I give them a little sniff, but I think Hamilton will win. I give them a little chance. I think they'll go close. Like they're in form. They'll play with a bit of confidence, but I think Hamilton might be too strong. So, sorry, Em. Warner will take on North Warrnambool. Like this is probably the most intriguing game.
There's 2 cracking
for mine.
games.
The next 2 are crackers. Well, actually, the next 3 are crackers.
Yeah,
but I just
absolutely.
think we know South and Cobden are going to play finals and double chance and so forth. So it's a little dress rehearsal to what we might see in the finals. But North and Warrnambool, just with what's at stakes, huge at the moment.
Yeah, well, Warrnambool need a win, but so do North. And if North win, that's going to set up a mouth-watering round 18 contest against Koroit, where they could potentially sneak a double chance if they're to win both games and get some percentage. So, both teams have everything to play for this weekend. I think North will win, and I've spoken to Will, and he said they were really impressive on the weekend, and if they can give that same performance this weekend, I think they'll be really tough to beat.
Does Maddie return? Or
Maddie will be back this week.
Yeah.
It's finals now for them.
Yeah.
They're playing finals now for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You've got to be winning at this time of year. They've got to win this week, and then they're assured of beating the 5, I think. I don't think they can get third, to be honest, Kate. I think you're a game ahead. You'd have to drop this weekend for them to do that.
I think, they'll have to, Koroit would have to drop 1 and North would have to win 2.
Win both, but even so, it'll still be a ripping game. So I think this is a real finals game this weekend for them.
You're Warner?
No, I'm not. I'm jumping back on the bandwagon.
You're back on the bandwagon.
I might have to wear North stuff if they beat South on the weekend.
Trish is back on the Vardy party. Maddie, don't have it back. She jumped off the other way.
No. I did jump off. I was so surprised. But then...
So was I that you tipped against them.
Who would have known there was going to be those injuries? If I knew that, I probably would have went North, But, you don't know these things. you rock up to the court and you see people, not playing today. What's going on?
I think North, I just think on the back of last week's form against the Roosters, that probably has sold me for just, and I think it's a 3 to 4 goal margin. I think it'll be pretty tight. South Warrnambool will take you on Cobden. Good to see Jamo signed on for 2024, which is good. He's been great for the comp and great for the Roosters. Yeah. But where do we see this one going? Like, this could be potentially, and I'm not ruling out any other sides, because I think Koroita certainly on their day are going to be hard. Hamilton, North Warrnambool, but this could be potentially a bit of a grand final preview.
It
potentially.
Could be. Well, based on the ladder right now, we would say that. Yeah. Knowing Will, I imagine that he's probably going to, tweak with some combinations this weekend and have a look at a couple of different things. Finals is obviously sewn up for them, but an opportunity to see if other things are working a couple of weeks before they may meet again. Cobden likewise might do the same. They've got a fit 9 now, so might look to rotate players. Last time I tipped against South, so this time I'll tip South.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm going to go Cobden. I don't know what South's injuries, whether they'll be back on the court this week. Hamstring and a calf. Ooh. You don't get over those really quickly. And there's no need for them to play this weekend and get injured. So only thing that puts me against that is I know Will doesn't like to lose. But yeah, I don't think he'll be showing his hand this week. He doesn't need to win this game. I think Cobden will be out there. And as I said last weekend, Sophie will be trying lots of combinations. Looking at it, she was the only one who played 4 quarters, and she played in 4 positions. So everyone else played 3 quarters. There was a lot of rotations, a lot of trying out where best will be, and I think they'll be trying that out at the weekend. So I think Cobden will win. I think it'll be still close.
I've got the utmost respect for both sides. I'm going to be the weak one here. I'm going to draw.
I did that last time.
No, I'm going to draw. I can't tip it. I can't tip it because I really admire Cobden. I love what Sophie does with her group, but I also have a lot of respect for Will. So I can be the weak one here because I'm not at the netball court on a Saturday afternoon and get the heat. So I'm going the draw, and I'll be the one that's laughing if I get it right.
Because then you haven't got to wear any clothes.
That's right. I've got nothing.
Weak.
Last game, Port Fairy take you on Portland. For mine, I think Portland get the job done. I just think Port Fairy, it's been a tough year, a real year of development and so forth. But I think Portland just have a bit more experience across the court that might be able to get them another win.
Yeah, they do have a lot more experience, I think. And I saw a couple of new names in their side on the weekend. So I don't know, as we've sort of spoken about, if they're bringing players over and giving them a taste of the competition before potentially signing them next year. But
let's hope so.
Yeah, I think it'll be great for them. I saw Remy Gran and Heidi Jones both in the best, Maddie Stone on the weekend. So they've got some really nice players.
They
just need to top up with a bit of top end talent. Yeah,
they've had a few injuries and they've had a bit happening there. They beat Port Fairy last time, and I think they'll want to do that again. I think they're travelling a bit better than Port Fairy. They have got a lot of injuries and they're just stopping the spots at the moment. I think be happy to see the end of the season to me. Yeah. Really, you get to that point where you think we've got a lot of injuries and we're just trying to manage players at the moment through their other grades. So
I think they're going. Port Fairy are going okay, and they're ones and twos, aren't they? So So big round of matches, penultimate round, round 17 of the Hampton Football Netball League. Next week will be round 18, the final round, and we might have a clearer picture of what's going to happen. We might not. We might have to wait until 4 o'clock next Saturday afternoon to see what's going to happen. Also, over the next week, I want us to start thinking about Dot Jenkins medal and some of those predictions, and maybe team of the year on some of the players we might look at as well. That might be a little bit of homework for you too for next week.
And we can't name 7 players for the Dot Jenkins medal. We need to narrow it down to a couple.
I want you to go.
It's always hard.
I want you to go your top 4. Actually, top 3 and a smoky. All right, and I'll do the same.
Did we pick it last year? I don't know if we did.
Who did we say? Who won it last year? Remy won last year.
I think we had her in
I had her in the top 3. I didn't pick her.
We had Worm and Sky, and I think they were up there. You just don't know.
I have Amy Wormwood in every year. She might play 5 games. I still have Wormy in there. Just hope she wins one day. Hey, that completes the show. A big shout out to our major sponsors: Sun Gold Fresh Local Milk, McDonald's, Southwest TAFE and Powercall, 4 great major sponsors of the Hampton Football Netball League. Big shout out to 3YBFM and Coast FM, Peter Heaton and the team. Great support as always throughout the course of the year. Toot Toot Traffic, Frolic Bar, Jodie Lane, the team at Miss Kit, so many great sponsors, and we'll really highlight them over the next couple of weeks. But a big shout out to those guys. Very important to have great sponsors for our league to prosper and run as well as it does each and every week. Hope you enjoyed the show. Big shout out to my friends at Camperdown, Em Stevens. Thanks for the dress, to Ruby Absalom. Hopefully it fits on Saturday. You haven't stretched it too much. And we hope you enjoyed it. We'll look forward to catching you next Wednesday night on the Hampton League Netball Show.